Alright, so I have several builds for you today. We have the Lazy Exaku. We have the Ensnare Exaku. We have the Zymos Nuke Exaku. And we have the Lazy Limbo. We'll start off with the Lazy Exaku. It's exactly what it sounds. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's exactly what it sounds like. So, we'll just get like Shade Prime here. That'll work. Shade Prime. Now, I'll just mind control Vam, and then just do this. Enemies are just gonna mindlessly attack the gaze target, which means they're gonna prime themselves and kill themselves. But if you really want to be a dick, I mean, obviously you could just hit the gaze target with a melee influence weapon, just nuke them while they self-prime themselves and just kill them even easier. If you wanted to. Obviously. And I know what you're thinking, but what if it's overguarded enemies? Okay. Okay. Yeah, what if it's overguarded enemies? Yeah, it's just like, what if? Okay, they're overguard. Horrified. Alright. Yeah. Exaku's one bypasses overguard. Alright, we'll move on to the Ensnare Exaku. It's what it says in the name. I don't know what else to tell you. The Ensnare Exaku is just, it's that. It's what it is. It's in the name. It's Ensnare. Enemies get grouped up. That's what it does. You just gaze a target. And snare them. And there you go. Cool. Zymos Exaku. We'll get to the Lazy Limbo. We'll get to the Lazy Limbo. Alrighty, Zymos Exaku. What's funny is the mechanics of Zymos Exaku is very similar to Lazy Limbo. That's what's funny. It is very similar in mechanic. But with Lazy Limbo, you don't have to think much. With Lazy Limbo. The only things you have to do with lazy limbo is find a target and banish it. Hit it with a certain subsume. And then just sit there and shoot the head. Well, anything that doesn't have abilities can't fucking hurt you for the rift. And anything that does have abilities is most likely already dead from the Zymos. The rest of the build can be whatever else you want. That's lazy limbo for you. Now see, if I wanted to pause my gaze target's immortality, I could just hit my full one. And I could just sit here like this and... spam back. Endlessly. It's nice as I have critical damage on my ribbon, so I don't need critical damage here, and I don't need critical chance because I get critical damage from my ribbon, and I get critical chance from this, which frees up these 2 slots for more utility. Hemorrhage is here because guaranteed impact on the projectile. If you're curious, my shards. There's my shards. There you go. Alright. Now we're moving on to Lazy Limbo. Now, Lazy Limbo, ignore the build that I will switch to for Lazy Limbo. I don't actually use Lazy Limbo, but this is just a build that I thought of to make it easier for people to play Limbos. Like, say you don't want to learn much of Limbo's mechanics and you want to play Limbo, but you don't want to learn much of his mechanics and you just want him to be extremely easy for you to play. Basically, a simplified Limbo, a dumbed down Limbo. As I would say, like, just a Limbo that requires as little effort as possible. Like, as little thinking of his mechanics. Just couple things and done. Now, we'll go to the Zymos and explain it. So Zymos, how it works is when you land a headshot, right? When you land a headshot, it creates these little spores. These little spores home in on enemies. These spores not only home in on enemies, but they bypass the rift and do guaranteed impact, hence hemorrhage. These little spores also do a lot of crit damage and are also really good when it comes to critical chance multipliers, hence nerfing. These spores are also multiplicative with galvanized shot, so if you want a galvanized shot you can put it in, but again you don't need to. That's how simple this build is. When I get to the actual part of the build you will understand like just how basic it is. But if you want more damage you can squeeze in galvanized shot and all that. Okay. So we're gonna this is my normal like Lua Spy, Lua Rescue Limbo. That's why I have the auto hack subsume, because I just go into a Lua rescue. I hack the panel where the hostage is in. I banish the hostage. I run the extraction. It's also my rescue Limbo in general. I go do any rescue with this. I just auto hack the panel. I banish the hostage. Run the extraction. For Lua, also, I auto hack the panel and I just hop in the rift and I'm entirely undetectable by the lasers. So, is that too? Anyways, on to the actual build of Lazy Limbo. So, see this enemy right here, right? I'm just gonna banish them. Now, I'm gonna show you something. This enemy is rifted. This enemy is rifted. This enemy is rifted. You don't even need to worry about the rest of the enemies being rifted. Because... Because again... ripped it. As this weapon bypasses the rift. Okay? So just, we'll clear the board. Now you know what this weapon bypasses the rift. So you can hit enemies outside the rift while being in the rift. We'll go equip a random frame here. Here's another one I'm going to show you lazy build up. Trinity. But we'll get to that. Trinity's 1 makes an enemy practically immortal and makes them very easy to headshot, so you can just stand here and just consistently hit their head over and over and over and over and over and over and over, constantly triggering Zymos' passive. But her first ability is also her subsume, so what I'm saying is, for the lazy limbo, just subsume Wall of Life on Banshee. I don't know, Banshee, I mean, just subsume Wall of Life on Limbo. Banish banish a target, hop in the rift, Wall of Life that target, and just sit there and spam the Zymos on the target's skull. What this does is this means you have an immortal target that constantly triggers Zymos. You're invincible to anything that doesn't have abilities. And anything that has abilities is most likely fucking dead from the Zymos. Oh, and also on top of that, you have status immunity. You're knockdown immune and stagger immune, so Zymos isn't going to be fucking annoying you, and you don't need prime sure-footed. I don't know if you can fucking hear me. If you can't, I'll say it again. You are status immune and knockdown immune, because that's what Wall of Life does. So, you don't need to worry about prime sure-footed. The target is immortal, so you can just sit there, stand there, while being immune to anything that doesn't have abilities, and just spam the Zymos constantly. And if you do somehow die, the Wall of Life target will die and cheat death. It will die and then prevent you from dying by reviving you instantly. Oh yeah, and also damaging the Wall of Life target gives you healing that scales based off your damage. So you can just sit there and spam that one target and not move. And the only thing you have to worry about is finding a target, banishing it, Wall of Lifing it, and then aiming at the head and just constantly shooting that one head. That's it. The rest of the build, you could do whatever the fuck you want. You want more damage? Go for more damage. You want more survivability? Go for more survivability. You want more utility? Go for more utility. That is basically it with the lazy limbo. You just banish a target, Wall of Life it, shoot in the head with Zymos. Oh yeah, also melee influence. Info. People are fucking sick and probably sick and tired of seeing melee influence at this point. It bypasses for the rift. So if you want to use a melee with lazy limbo, you can use a melee with lazy limbo. I just prefer Zymos for lazy limbo because it's much funnier. You just sit there and just constantly shoot the head and have these head-seeking spores that are also multiplicative with gun CO. I just like using Cannon Ed because I like the bonus damage on both damage types, the AoE and Anon. Also, Punch Through is nice. So, there's that. Anyways, you want to see the Lazy Trinity. The Lazy Trinity is very simple. It's just her augment and this. That's it. You don't even need to do this. I'm just doing this because it's fucking funny. It's fucking funny. So that's why I'm doing it. You don't even need to go into a build like this. I'm just doing it because, again, like I said, it's fucking hilarious. I find it hilarious. But here, I'll just show you. I can just stay here and have enemies kill themselves. And since Jade Xmas inpoint scale, what is happening is that Jade Xmas is shooting me. That infinite scaling damage is then going to attack anything that is linked to me. So anything linked to me is not only getting viral procced and armor stripped, but also getting hit by infinite scaling damage because of Link. But yeah, there you go. Lazy Limbo, a Reflect build Trinity, a few Nuke Exakus. I'm trying to think if there's another build I could show. Oh yeah. That's what I could do. Well, since they're doing a pseudo exalted rework and pseudo exalted rework, I could do a squeeze in an Ash in this video too. Yeah, I'll squeeze in an Ash, so you're getting multiple builds in one video. Where is it? Go to fuck to sleep, Ash. There it is. Go to fuck to sleep, Ash. So, Ash's Blade Storm counts as finishers. Okay. Since it counts as finishers, what this means is it can trigger Endless Lullaby. So enemies will constantly go to sleep. Enemies will constantly go to sleep, and while being sleeped, they also are vulnerable to finishers, which then means there you go. And you retrigger another lull without spending any energy. And on top of that, you get Arcane Trickery. So you go invisible, and invisibility is also ability disable immune invis. And as you're invisible, you're constantly putting targets to sleep, and you're constantly finishing them at the same time. So see, all these enemies are gonna go nap time. And you just do that. I'll leave the pseudo-exalted rework dev workshop in the description below so you can look at the Ash changes yourself. But yeah. So you're just constantly putting enemies to sleep and constantly finishing them. And you're constantly triggering arcane trickery while you're doing it. So you have ability to disable immune invis. You have access to armor strip from seeking shuriken. Oh, and next update, his bladestorm will be coded as a dagger, so you can run the amalgam argonac mod for armor strip from the bladestorm. You have a bladestorm, but armor strips. Constant invis, like I said, because of arcane trickery. Enemies who are asleep obviously don't stand still like that. But you're constantly triggering this. I mean, enemies will constantly go to sleep. As long as you perform finishers on sleeping enemies, you will constantly re-trigger the lull, which then constantly means you're sleeping enemies. Which then means you're constantly putting enemies. Like, so they fall asleep. Also, the reason why I lowered my duration is because if you lower your duration, enemies fall asleep faster. The faster enemies fall asleep, the faster but you can just spam endless lullaby. Obviously, this will be better in an actual mission than the simulacrum, because you'll have way more enemies to hit. But yeah. Enemies go to sleep. You bladestorm them. You re-trigger the lull, which then sleeps enemies again. And then you can just repeat the cycle. There you go. Now, you also have weapon platform Ash, or what I called Angel of Death Ash, where this Ash allows you to run literally any weapon in the game. You can run any weapon of your liking. Not like any weapon of your liking. Because you have Invis. You have Roar. which is a universal faction damage modifier and ability modifier. You have your Blade Storm, which also is getting buffed next update. You have your Armor Strip. Oh, and your Blade Storm's getting buffed in duration next update. Oh, and also on top of that, you can build combo with your melee, like this. So, any melee in the game, you can run around with at 12 times. If it's Venko, go up to 13 times combo. You can buff any of your guns and any of your melee. So you're permanently running around with a universal faction damage modifier and ability damage modifier. You have Armor Strip from your 1 augment. And, on top of that, you have access to any melee in the game at 12 times combo without even needing to melee an enemy. Which, of course, means that. Hold on, you need some bulkier? Okay. Now, this isn't the same melee build as what I used in the Angel of Death Ash video, so it might not do as much damage, but it'll still hit like a truck. Oh yeah, and also, if you don't like the Armor Strip from Seeking Shuriken, you can also run the Smoke Shadow instead. So again, any melee in the game, I mean, you probably can't hear me over all the fucking Tech enemies dying, but any melee in the game at 12 times combo, any weapon in the game with a faction damage modifier, and also when the tech update comes out, your Blade Storm will be even stronger because you can fucking put arcanes on it because it'll be an actual exalted. So any weapon in the game at 12 times combo, you'll have a universal faction damage modifier and ability damage modifier. If you wanted to, you could run your primary of the Amalgam mod, so Armor Strip. And if you wanted to even more, you can run Smoke Shadow, so you get stupid high crits. Like, yeah. And what this means is you don't need melee crescendo. You don't need Naramon. You don't need any of that. Because, again, any melee weapon in the game at fucking 12 times combo. Just by your Blade Storm alone. Fucking any melee weapon in the game at 12 times combo. Any. Doesn't fucking matter. Here you go. Alright, what? Here, I'll show you the Amalgam mod quickly I'm talking about. There you go. I should probably, starve at so it's easier for me to find next update. That'd be the smart thing to do. Where the fuck is my latchern again? Oh, there it is. There's my latchern. Cool. So yeah, there you go. Now, let's move our attention over to another frame. Another frame that would be... That's gonna be pretty funny. Let's move our attention on... Trying to think of another one. Here, we'll go with Baruch. Do I want to do Baruch? Yeah, we'll do Baruch. Okay, so Baruch. I know, people are fucking tired of melee influence, but I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna get it out there. Melee influence Baruch. It's fucking out there. I know. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's obvious. Let's not, like, sugarcoat it. People are gonna fucking use melee influence on Exalteds. Let's be real with ourselves here. Everyone and their fucking grandmother is gonna be running melee influence. I know this is supposed to be a video about lazy limbo, but I had more things on my mind. I'm like, I might as well just squeeze some in this video than make another video, because then you get a shit ton of things in one video. Get the lazy limbo build, you get the funny Trinity build, you get the funny Zakuth. Get a lot of shit. But yeah. Let's face the harsh reality. Let's face the harsh reality. Everyone's gonna be running melee influence Baruch. That's just the harsh reality of it. Everyone will be running melee influence Baruch. And since Baruch will be able to build combo with his waves, just remove Shattering Impact. I use Shattering Impact to slide attack armor strip acolytes when I'm not using Jade Subsume. But let's just be honest with ourselves. Everyone's gonna be running influence Baruch, so just fucking remove Shattering Impact and just run in Blood Rush. Or Gladiator Might. Get crit damage and also you get critical chance and you also get combo. It's fucking obvious. That's what people are gonna be running. So, yeah. Alright, let's get to something more funny. Okay, Dante's little book. Now I'm gonna bring in a weapon that no one even gives a fuck about anymore. Amprex. How many of you fucking care about the Amprex? Yeah, not many of you. Not many of you fucking care about this weapon. Do I blame you? Absolutely not. It's a piece of fucking shit. Unless you get some buffs. I mean, piece of shit, let's compare it to literally every other weapon that we use nowadays. I mean, it's good. Like, yeah, it kills with my Sentinel Primes. Cool. It hits, like, one my Sentinel Primes and I get some buffs up. I mean, yeah, it kills, cool, but the reality of it is, the fucking deadly reality of it is, better guns out there. Now, Dante's little book here. Dante's little book here primes shit for you. And we're getting arcanes on our exalteds. Obviously I'm using Amprex, but you can run literally any weapon you want. This is without my Sentinel giving me the Vigilante buff. This is without the birds giving me status vulnerability. Well, let's reset the board. Now, let me just summon your little birdies here. Oh, and by the way, that's without the Vigilante set. If I just so happen to be like, you know what, I feel like running my Sentinel with the Vigilante set. I just so happen today to be like, you know what, I want to run my Sentinel with the Vigilante set. That is how I'm feeling today. That is how my day is going. I want my Sentinel to run the Vigilante set. For no reason. I'm just like, you know what? I want my Sentinel to run the Vigilante set. Yeah, that just happened. Yeah, that just happened. That just fucking happened. Yeah, you saw that correctly. So yeah, what would we hit here? Obviously not Nervate. I want my fucking... I want my weapons to be doing the killing, not my fucking book. I mean, if you're watching, you can fucking put Nervate there. Your fucking book will be killing shit before you can even shoot it. But, yeah. Put secondary encumber there. There you go. Done. Okay, moving on. Cyto 9. Cyto 9. I have silenced Cyto 9 on. I don't have Exotic Cyto 9 on because special ops service. I had a brain fart. I had a brain fart for a second there. I was like, think? Brain, no brain. Obviously, you won't be using Scourge. I'm just using Scourge because why not? Add a little bit more flair. So, Exoda, when you land a headshot, it creates this mag bubble. this mini mag bullet. All bullets from that target. All bullets get redirected to that spot you land on the head. And since we're getting arcane slots for Exalted's next update, primary crux. Guaranteed status chance. On a Exalted weapon. But does gas. Creating gas bubbles everywhere. Creating exotic bubbles everywhere. On a weapon that hits for walls. I don't know if this is fucking still recording. Probably isn't. But there you go. Which then feeds into the weak points of Sidon 9's ability right here, which gives you invisibility. Oh, and it also feeds into Sidon 9's passive, so there's that too. Okay. Work, brain, work. What else was I thinking of? Yeah, my brain completely gone to shit for a second there. Hold on, it's rebooting, give it a minute. Insert elevator music. Oh, my brain's back, cool. Yeah, so, again, Exalted rework. Just fucking slap Fortifier Mesa, there you go. Corrosive Heat, Viral, and fucking Overguard. On a frame. Bad. Corrosive, Viral, Heat, and Overguard. I mean, why not? Why the hell not? Corrosive, Viral, and Heat. There you go. Alright, there you go. Before my brain shits the bed again, all that on top of Lazy's Limbo, I will leave in the description of this video the dev workshop link. Alright. I'm gonna end the video here before my brain shits the bed again.